Go to college, change the world. Not bad advice. Can you imagine if these reporters had done that, what they would be doing today? I couldn't resist that. At the outset, let me thank Philip Weinberg, the CEO of Strive, S-T-R-I-V-E, and Rob Carmona, the organization's founder, and all their colleagues here for hosting us today. For more than 25 years, Strive's counseling and employment services really have enabled thousands of New Yorkers to become more productive and responsible men and women. And in particular, they're helping us achieve this vital goal, helping more parents to pay the child support that they owe. Because of such efforts, we're pleased to announce that more children in New York City are now getting more child support than ever before. If you remember, during 2011, the city's Office of Child Support Enforcement announced they collected a record total of more than $731 million in child support payments. That's $731 million. That's nearly $750 million a year for almost 250,000 children. And that averages to more than $4,000 a year in payment to some 175,000 families. And for many of those families, that money really makes a huge difference in their daily lives. Now just consider this. It's estimated that child support accounts for more than 30% of money coming in each year for low-income, single-parent families in our city. And when families receive the regular child support they're owed, it means better lives for children now and far better futures for them as well. And it also means that families are far less likely to require public assistance from taxpayers. So everybody really is a winner, and it's something we just have to focus on. There's also another very heartening trend at work, one that's improving lives for children across our city in other ways as well. Many times the non-custodial parents, and in most cases that means fathers, who are making child support payments also become more actively involved in the lives of their children. Not just because they're meeting their financial obligations, but also because with the help of community partners like Strive, we're helping make them stronger, make stronger emotional connections to their children as well. And anytime a child has two parents caring about his or her well-being, it really is a plus for the kid and a plus for the parents as well. And that's why we've made encouraging such parental responsibility a big part of our Young Men's Initiative to improve outcomes for Black and Latino men in our city, an initiative that Rob Carmona is helping guide as a member of its advisory committee. So Rob, thank you for all your help. We'll say more about such efforts in a few moments, but first let me give you a quick rundown on the success of the Office of Child Support, the Office of Child Support Enforcement is having. During the past year, they were directed by the Family Court to enforce some 284,000 orders of child support, and they've been successful in securing child support payments in about 62% or 175,000 of those cases, and that's up from their obtaining collections in just 53% of such cases back in '04. Now, in dollars and cents, child support collections have gone up nearly $254 million since 2002, from roughly $477 million then to more than $731 million during 2011, an increase of more than 53%. I know it's a lot of numbers, but the bottom line is it translates into an awful lot of families getting the aid that they need to make sure that children can have a meal and each day, 3 times a day, and have clothing and a roof over their heads, and monies that you really need to be able to grow up and participate and become part of society. This is also at a time when many local governments have seen child support collections fall or barely rise at all. Collections were up nearly 4.5% in 11 from over 2010. And I think the reasons for that success here in New York City include tougher enforcement, such as working with district attorneys to match up suspects arrested for driving with suspended licenses to find if they owe child support as well. And that's one of the ways that policing works. Somebody gets stopped for one reason and you find other things that you've been looking for them and just know it. At the same time, we've also got we also do a lot to help non-custodial parents to do the right thing, and that includes guidance in finding and keeping regular on-the-books employment, reducing debts they may owe the government, and also mediating disputes about child visitation, which can lead to make them not being willing to support their children. The community-based organizations we have partnerships with play a big part in these efforts. They include the Doe Fund, which is represented here today by its president, George McDonald, and also the Center for Employment Opportunities, whose executive director, Mindy Tarlow, is here as well. Mindy, smile. You always smile, Mindy. Strive is also a very effective partner in these areas, and its work readiness programs have helped many young fathers find jobs. Strive's fatherhood programs also encourage non-custodial dads to build closer connections to their children while offering practical counseling in parenting techniques, conflict resolution, anger management, and financial literacy. And through such efforts, Strive is helping meet the goals set out in our Young Men's Initiative. And to say more about that and about our success in increasing child support payments, let me turn the floor over to Robert Doar, the Commissioner of the city's Human Resources Administration. His responsibilities include child support enforcement, and I've watched this guy for a number of years, and I will say there's an awful lot of people in the city that have been helped because of his policies. Robert Doar is somebody that believes that we should help people in need, but that those people also should try to be responsible for their success, and when they can be, and that he's got to make sure that the taxpayers know that the monies that they are reaching into their pocket to provide to help the less fortunate really are going to those who need that help. And I've always thought that's a very big part of what we have to do. So an awful lot of people owe Robert Doar a great debt of thanks. Why am I praising you? I have no idea. It happens to be true.
Thank you very much, and thank you so much for bringing important attention to this important issue. You're surrounded by people, community partners, child support officials in our city offices, and others who are great supporters of what you're doing here, and are very appreciative of all that you've said and continue to do. What we do in child support is enforce a societal obligation to care for your children. And we do that well, better this year than ever before. But we also do it in a way that's understanding and respectful of the difficulties faced by non-custodial parents, especially fathers, especially low-income fathers, who may need a little help, a little extra help to fulfill their obligation by getting a job, by getting parenting education, and by looking for ways to be better and more important supportive influences in their children's lives. Children do better when both parents play an active role in their lives, provide financial support and emotional support. This program, the Child Support Enforcement Program, and the programs that are represented by Mr. Carmona and Mr. McDonald and Mindy Tarlow are about both of those things, and that is a great thing, and I'm very pleased to be part of it. I have one other person to recognize. Fran Abadessa is in the back. She's the director of the program. Mayor, I want to tell you, Fran has been a city employee for some time. She is a great public servant, and she balances the world of helping, but also requiring people to fulfill responsibilities as well or better than anyone I know. So thank you, Fran.
Robert, thank you. You know, we do get a lot of aid, incidentally, from the state. I think sometimes we forget that. And I just wanted to personally thank Robert Rodriguez, the Assemblyman from this district, for delivering, although you're only as good as your last deliverable. Yeah, I understand that. We have that too. A lot of city agencies touch the lives of young fathers, and to maximize and coordinate their efforts in 2010, we launched the city's Fatherhood Initiative, and we hired the city's first Fatherhood Services Coordinator, Alan Farrell, to really see if we can't get more parents, more fathers involved. It really does make an enormous difference. Even if the father is, for example, incarcerated, it's very powerful, and they say to their child, look, this is the way I turned out, don't you do it. And there's an awful lot of evidence that no matter how disruptive or how non-conventional, if you will, the relationship is, when a child knows their parents gets a chance to interact with both their parents, the outcomes are much better. So, Alan?
Mayor Bloomberg, thank you. Commissioner Doar, Mr. Philip Weinberg, Mr. Robert Carmona, Chief Executive Officer and founder of Strive, and all the dedicated staff and board members here today. Good morning. Today, the Office of Health and Human Services recognizes the record collections of the Human Resources Administration's Office of Child Support Enforcement. We know that $750 million is going a long way to help break the cycle of poverty in the lives of nearly 250,000 children. And we really do believe that it is appropriate, as it's been said, that we're making this announcement at Strive, an organization with over 25 years of experience preparing thousands of individuals, fathers, and families to gain and retain employment. NYC Dads, the Mayor's Fatherhood Initiative, is part of the Young Men's Initiative's commitment to remove barriers to fathers supporting, nurturing, and connecting with their children. New efforts like the CUNY Fatherhood Academy at LaGuardia will prepare dads to achieve in the classroom and the world of work. HRA's efforts to help dads find employment and take care of their families and themselves is key in this work, and assists in ensuring that fathers are an essential component of the strengthening of our families, community, and city. The joint efforts of the Young Men's Initiatives and the community-based organizations like Strive, coupled with the commitment and hard work of dads and families, will improve the outcomes for children in general and boys in particular as they receive love and financial support from two caring parents. The Child Support Program is one of the strongest anti-poverty programs in the nation and is a key player in this effort. When combined with work and work supports, child support helps lift children out of poverty, strengthens families as fathers support their children both emotionally and financially, and improve the likelihood of a brighter future for our children. Thank you.
Thank you. Financially and emotionally supporting our children is about the most important thing that we can do in our adult lives. And today we are joined by some parents who've made just that kind of commitment, and I wanted to congratulate them and ask them to say a few words to us, starting with the parents of 4-year-old Elias Stewart, Jaswell Stewart, and Haiti Garcia.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Being new to child support can be a stressful experience, just as being a new father. When I first heard that a lump sum would be deducted from my paycheck, I wasn't sure what I would have left to support myself. Now, the program was very helpful through my experience, but I realized that I needed to make an extra effort to find full-time employment. So, basically, I paid off all my arrears in record time, and now my child, along with his mother, are no longer on welfare. I'm proud to be, thank you. I'm proud to be a good father to my son, Elias, who means the world to me, and to be in good terms with the mother of his, the mother of his, right? So, thank you. I get a little nervous around here. All in all, the child support has been a positive experience for me and for my child. So thank you.
Thank you both, and I'd like to invite another young mother, Raisa Valero, to tell us a little bit about her experience and those of her son Tyler, who has not put down a computer since I met him.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. My son's father was not very supportive nor happy at first when he received his child support order. But through the program, things have gotten much better for me, Tyler, and his father. My son has a better relationship with his father now, and I work full-time to support my son. But I am glad the difference of Tyler's father's payments have made in our lives. I am glad that the payments are no longer a mental nor financial burden to him. The program has helped us work out a visitation agreement through mediation, which has helped both of us, and a great help to my son personally. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. I'd also like to acknowledge the president of Sheldon Satchel, a non-custodian father who, with the help of Strive, has become a supportive and involved parent of his son Sheldon and daughter Shelley, both of whom are here today. So, thank you. And Shelley is going to be taller than me, we decided. At age 14, I don't know how you feed her. Before taking questions, let me just try to summarize today's announcement for our Spanish-speaking New Yorkers. Hay más niños que nunca recibiendo apoyo paternal. Estos fondos ayudan a muchas familias viviendo en pobreza sobrellevar los problemas y tener un mejor futuro. And with that, we'll be happy to take some questions.